The World Health Organization recently reclassified aspartame as possibly carcinogenic, and another artificial sweetener, erythritol, has been linked to heart attack and stroke.
What about sucralose, stevia, and allulose? Let's take a look at the truth behind artificial sweeteners in diet soda. Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. We're the Carnivore couple. I'm Pat.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we have been on the carnivore diet now for just about 5 months. We've lost a combined total of over 100 pounds. And in that 5 months, we've been cleaning up our eating habits.
Yeah, but one bad habit that has really been hanging on, especially for me, has been the diet sodas and the artificial sweeteners. And recently, I came across a news study that had some really alarming news about some of these artificial sweeteners found in these zero sugar drinks. So let's take a look at the 5 most popular artificial sweeteners to see if they are really worth the sip.
First, let's talk about aspartame. Aspartame is a chemically manufactured non-nutritive sweetener that is 200 times sweeter than sugar and commonly used in over 6,000 products, including popular diet sodas such as Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, Coke Zero, Crystal Light, and many others.
But this sweetener has a long history of problems. Even back in 1973, when aspartame was first created, it was first denied by the FDA because independent scientists alleged that it could cause possible neurologic disorders. Fast forward to today, in July 2023, after reviewing some of the scientific literature, the International Agency for Research on Cancer reclassified aspartame as possibly carcinogenic.
Meanwhile, the Joint Expert Committee on Food Additives, along with the FDA, concluded that the data evaluated indicated no sufficient reason to change the previously established acceptable daily intake to no greater than 9 to 14 cans of diet soda.
So I guess as long as you're drinking 8 cans of diet soda or less, you're fine.
I guess so.
Makes perfect sense. I don't know if I trust the FDA. But there are many diet sodas that don't contain aspartame. They contain sucralose. Sucralose is another popular zero-calorie sweetener that is 600 times sweeter than sugar. Almost as sweet as you.
Oh, shucks.
And this artificial sweetener is found in many products like sugar-free Gatorade, sugar-free sparkling ice, and sugar-free coffee creamers. In fact, you may know sucralose as its most popular brand name, which is Splenda. And so with a tagline, "It tastes just like sugar," their marketing is actually kind of honest because sucralose is actually made from sugar. They just kind of rearrange some of the atoms, and so that makes it so our body can no longer break it down, and so then it has no calories and no sugar for our body.
But this sweetener does not come without its health risks, mainly increasing one's risk for diabetes, spiking insulin, and reducing insulin sensitivity. A study published in the journal Diabetes Care discovered that if you consume sucralose, the risk of developing diabetes is profound. According to the study, daily consumption of diet soda was associated with a 36% greater risk of metabolic syndrome and a 67% greater risk of type 2 diabetes. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Not only did sucralose spike insulin, but it also was discovered that there is a 23% decrease in insulin sensitivity. Well, at Costco this weekend, we bought a case of these.
Truth.
And it has sucralose, so this will be the last case we buy of those for sure.
Yeah. Next up, erythritol. Erythritol is commonly used in things like Rebel ice cream, Halo Top ice cream, sugar-free candies, and even sugar-free vitamin water. It's not technically an artificial sweetener, but it's called a sugar alcohol, kind of along the lines like sorbitol, maltitol, all of the type of tols. Sugar alcohols like erythritol naturally occur in fruits, vegetables, and fermented foods. However, a lot of the erythritol on the market is actually made from genetically modified cornstarch, so it's not even real. And the only reason that our body doesn't recognize it as cornstarch and then spike our sugars or give us calories is because our body actually can't break it down at all. It just passes through our system. And although erythritol was deemed safe by the FDA, because you guys know we can always count on the FDA to be the most trustworthy organization. Recent studies published in 2023 link erythritol to a very high increased risk of heart attack and stroke.
Wow, that's crazy. Research from the Cleveland Clinic in February 2023 analyzed data from over 4,000 people and found that those with higher blood erythritol levels were at elevated risk of experiencing a major adverse cardiac event such as heart attack, stroke, or death. So is there any hope of ever having anything sweet again without a risk of heart attack or cancer? Be sure to stay tuned when we talk about the last two, stevia and allulose.
Stevia is a sweetener that both Pat and I had been using ever since we had started the carnivore diet. We are trying to wean all of these sweeteners out of our diet, but as you can tell, we still have a little bit of sucralose in those ices that we bought. It is a process, y'all. It is hard to get these out of our diets, but stevia was the main one that we had been using in our coffee and in this diet soda called Zevia. And the research shows that usually stevia is really well tolerated. It usually doesn't spike your insulin, and in fact, it can actually increase your insulin sensitivity. However, in looking at stevia a little bit more closely, what I found is that stevia is usually mixed with two other ingredients, so you really got to read those labels. One of the ingredients is maltodextrin, and so maltodextrin is just this really highly processed white powder that is made from like corn, rice, potato starch, and then they put that in the stevia, and maltodextrin is actually a higher glycemic load than sugar, and they put that in the powdered stevia packet. And then the other one is dextrose, and dextrose is just a simple sugar that is made from corn. It kind of has the same effect as that white powder, and so it can increase your insulin levels when it is consumed in small amounts. So make sure if you are choosing to consume stevia that you look on the back of your packets to make sure that it is pure stevia and you're not getting any of that maltodextrin or any of that dextrose in there. So one of the things I personally really wanted to know about stevia was its impact on fertility, because I remember one time you were watching like one of Dr. Chafee's live streams or one of his videos, and you came back to me and you told me we need to get stevia out of our diet because stevia can impact fertility. And when I first heard that, I thought you were crazy. Are you serious? There's this African tribe that uses the stevia leaf as contraception. So there have been several animal studies that show the contraception effect of stevia in both male and female rats, but they didn't exactly know why until a 2016 study came out. And what they found is that what stevia does is it increases your amount of progesterone. However, it also antagonizes or blocks the receptor, so your body can't really use much of it. This hormone progesterone is essential for female reproductive health. It helps you maintain your pregnancy and it helps you regulate your menstrual cycle. And in fact, progesterone receptor antagonists are used clinically as contraception and to terminate pregnancy.
So basically, it just keeps you from having babies.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's still hope. Allulose is a rare sugar that occurs in foods like raisins and figs. But since it's not absorbed by your body and it has 0 calorie, it does not seem to raise your blood sugar. In fact, allulose has been linked to multiple health benefits. It helps to burn fat, lose weight, stabilize your blood sugar levels, and also decrease inflammation throughout your body.
So overall, it just seems best to kick artificial sweeteners out of your diet for good, especially aspartame, sucralose, and erythritol. If you're using stevia, it may be good for some people, and then right now, allulose kind of seems like maybe the front runner, but it's still new, so all the research studies haven't been done yet. And also, if you're looking to drink diet soda with allulose in it, that doesn't really exist yet. So we're back to square one of getting diet soda out of our bodies, which is probably the best. So we're back to drinking water.
At the end of the day, though, water is life, and it's what we need. So.
And in the words of Simon Sinek, I love this quote: "We should be treating sugar, and in this case, artificial sweeteners, like recreational drugs. Maybe sometimes on the weekend, but not every day."
If you're interested in checking out any of these research studies, they'll all be linked in the description below. We really appreciate everyone watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Maybe drop us a like. We'll see y'all next time. Stay strong.